Tamin, TJ was talking about a stretch last year where you guys, almost lost 3 games. It could have been a 3-game losing streak, but you have kind of a heroic effort at the front end of that. Is that a moment that maybe you look back on as, hey, you can still have a fantastic season overall and lose 3 games in a row at some point?
I'd definitely say, yeah. I mean, my first 2 years, we had losing streaks, and that just comes with playing college basketball, especially in the Big 12. Every team you play could have a night where it's hard to beat them, or it's just going to be a great competition. So we realized that it's a hard conference. It's a long season. There's going to be ups and downs, and obviously we're in a down spot right now. But the good thing about that is we got time to make our way out of it.
Do you remember watching College Game Day when it came here 10 years ago?
I feel like I do. I don't remember what game it was for, but I mean, obviously it was a pretty big deal having College Game Day at Ames. So.
I think it was for Kansas back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an environment that you're kind of looking forward to?
Definitely is. I mean, College Game Day, that whole atmosphere will be fun for the fans and the community and all that. I remember when they do like the football ones, similar thing. They had it for the Cy-Hawk game a few years ago, so that was fun. Just the environment for the fans and everyone, just to bring some more excitement, and then we're going to be able to go out there and compete.
Coach talked about some of the external pressures of the home winning streak, the national high, AP ranking, different things kind of maybe starting to affect the team from an external distraction standpoint. How did you see that maybe affect your guys' day-to-day approach?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, obviously it's hard to not see things on social media and stuff, especially when we all have so many different types of it. And obviously it's great when you're winning games and all that, and then you lose 1 or 2 games, and people start to turn on you and you see negative things. So we all realize it's part of it, and just have to learn how to handle it. Obviously it's an external distraction, so try to just block it out when it's good and bad news, and then just focus on what we can do to keep winning games.
And he talked about in the locker room after the game to Kansas, body language being really good, mentioned eye contact, there being a general attitude amongst you guys of, we're going to fix this, the time is now to fix it. How did you guys, in your eyes, and just kind of see the team respond to that after a pretty frustrating game on Monday?
Mm-hmm. After the Kansas State game, body language was bad. The whole game really was down for us. So I saw a big difference from that loss and the loss at Kansas. Completely different from body language and just the attitude of the guys. Obviously didn't get the win in either of those games, but at Kansas we felt like we played harder, we played more like ourselves. Just wasn't the day for us to get that win, and obviously they played a great game. But after that game, it was a positive view to just see guys sort of have that hunger in their eyes. I feel like that's something that we needed. We needed to hit some adversity. It'll help us later down the road.
Tamin, how would you describe the last few days of practice since you guys got back from Kansas as you guys try to work through this tough patch?
It's been intense. Trying to get back to what we do, how we practice. From the summer and the fall, we always go at it. We have a lot of competitions in practice, a lot of playing. So that's really what we've been focusing on, is just getting back to competing and going at it in practice every day, not taking a day of practice lightly. So bringing a lot more energy to practice, a lot more up and down, competing versus one another in games and like short things like that. But it's been a positive sight just to get that feeling of competitiveness back in our veins.
I think it's pretty clear that Nealon's absence is a big reason why offense has gotten hard for you guys over the last couple of weeks. How do you, assuming he's not going to play for a game or 2 or 3 or whatever it's going to be, how do you not dwell on that, because it's not going to make a difference one way or another?
Yeah, obviously we miss having him out on the court. It makes a big difference, like you said, and just spacing wise and offensively. Teams have been sort of switching up how they've been guarding us since he's been out. So we sort of have to learn how to play without him at this time, and that's something that we've been going through in offense, and just how to get movement and stay active without one of those key shooters on the floor. Obviously he spaces the floor, opens up gaps for us to guard, and when he's not out there, it's harder to find those gaps to drive and harder to make plays. So obviously looking forward to him getting back whenever that is, and getting him back on the court.
How do you also, I guess, do the day-to-day work that when he does come back, it's not like you're going to flip a switch and you guys are going to be awesome, guaranteed offensively again. You got to figure it back out again.
Yeah, definitely. We all wish it could just be like back to what it was with him coming back, but obviously he'll have to adjust with obviously being out, conditioning wise, and just getting back into flow. And obviously hand injuries aren't easy when basketball. You use your hands the whole time, so just realizing that it might not be an instant impact, but it's definitely going to make a difference.
Speaking of hand injuries, how's your thumb?
It's getting a lot better. Last week it was hurting pretty bad every day. Now it's not too bad. I mean, yeah.
What is the injury?
It's like I don't really know how to describe it. It's a small crack, maybe small hairline fracture, I think they said, but just in like the tip of my thumb. So just sort of splint it up, wrap it up, and it doesn't bother too much. I mean, it hurts a little, but probably because there's a crack.
Just a small broken thumb?
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned this down, having this 3-game losing streak, but now your next 4 games, you have 3 or 4 at home. How big is it to kind of get back, especially knowing that the majority of your games coming up are going to be at home?
Definitely, playing at home is awesome, especially when we're struggling like we are right now. We'd love to play every game at home right now, just get that feeling of excitement and energy back, and back on the winning train. So looking forward to playing as many home games. Like you said, the next 3 out of the next 4 are home. So looking forward to being in front of the fans, having our home crowd, and hopefully taking advantage of that and get some wins.
Tamin, obviously these past 3 games didn't go your guys' way, but do those ones just kind of show how tough and how deep the Big 12 conference is as a whole?
Definitely, I feel like the Big 12 is deep. It's tough from top to bottom, even when some teams' records aren't as good. I feel like teams just improve throughout the whole year in the Big 12, especially when you start competing against each other. So we don't really try to look at records, because any team can beat any team on any given night, as we see in the Big 12, and that's something that's great about it. You're going to go out and compete against a great team. So obviously we say record doesn't matter. Go out and try to get the win.
Thanks, guys. We'll be
Thanks,
back
Tamin.
with you, hopefully.